Hello, everybody. This is Angie Pettyjohn of the Pettyjohn team of Mortgage Alliance. How's everyone doing this fine Friday morning? A little bit steamy out there today, but actually, we're going to get a little steamier here with Efren Castillo of Ad Entity. How you doing, Efren?
I'm doing fantastic, Angie. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm looking forward to chat with you. I've been following your chats for a little bit, and they're always very exciting, very informative. So yeah, absolutely, very
Ah,
excited to be here.
Thanks, Efren. Well, it's as you know, because I've confided in you. This really was for me about building myself. Because I had such a tremendous fear of doing this. I've been following other people who do live segments on Facebook and on Instagram. I haven't quite yet done Instagram yet, but I know a lot of people like me are terrified of this. So this has given me the opportunity to get over that fear, practice my public speaking, which in turn I feel will help benefit my business in the end. So I wanted to talk to you about that and talk to you about how doing this is helping us. Like how is this helping us on social media?
Well, first of all, to address your first part of this of the conversation, Angie, I know we've talked about this for a long time now, and I have to say I'm very proud of everything you've done. I'm very proud that you actually put yourself out there, that you've been creating this amazing content. You've been bringing in some really amazing panelists that actually have been giving information that is very valuable. So definitely kudos to you. I'm very proud of you. And not to sound condescending, of course, but as a friend, I am very proud that you took that plunge. So yeah, absolutely, kudos to you.
Thank you. This is our 12th episode, Efren. So yeah, it's going really well. Something I wanted to ask you though. Well, finish off what you were saying, and then we'll get into some questions, like some good questions, I hope.
Well, I think you asked, you sort of did the segue already into, well, how is this helping
Yeah.
us, right, as businesses? I truly believe in the power of being top of mind, right? I always like to go to the basics of marketing, right? And ever since there was exchange of commerce, it's really been a matter of being top of mind, right? If you wanted to exchange, and I'm going to make something up here, so please don't verify the historical accuracy of this. But if I wanted to exchange a pig, two pigs with one cow, I'm probably going to be looking at who has the best cows to be able to exchange that, right?
Hmm.
So marketing has always been, in my opinion, a function of that, of being able to be top of mind, being able to deliver the right message at the right time to the right people.
Hmm.
And with that in mind, what you're doing here and what a lot of us are doing online is precisely that. We're trying to be top of mind. Well, we're not trying, we are actually indeed building our trust, building our credibility, because we're adding value to people listening to us. And I
Right.
think and I think that's a very big component, right? We are actually adding value. We're putting valuable content out, and that's how I think you having these chats and bringing people that have amazing content and different subjects as well
Yeah.
has added value to viewership, which in turn is going to make the Pettyjohn team stand out. It's going to make you guys be top of mind when it comes to your business.
Yeah, like when I started this off, again, it was really about my personal growth. But I'm also a firm believer that as I'm giving, it's going to be coming back. And it's not like I set out to, oh, I'm going to have Efren on and I'm going to get from Efren. It's um, more of a universal feeling of you give and it returns in different ways. So this is my way of giving to others, to my panelists, to the viewership. Um, and in turn, I feel that I am building a little bit of a brand here. Is that what ends up happening? Like this has happened organically.
And sorry for interrupting, Angie, but I don't think you give you and your team enough credit for this. And it's not a little bit of a brand. What happened last month?
I
What was it
know.
again?
I know. We were top agent at the office, and it's a big office. There's 60 agents, so we were pretty pretty excited. Thank you, Efren. I know. I tend to do that as well, as downplay the successes, which I really shouldn't. But I'm super proud of this live. And I want to give other people that opportunity to say, look, Angie did it. She had a tremendous fear. And I'd encourage everybody to jump on Efren's Identity's Thursday chats that happen every week. And Efren, how giving is that? Like, you're giving your knowledge about an hour every single week. So tell us a bit about that, please.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that pitch. Yeah. So basically, when this whole thing started, I wanted to create a space where I would be able to help other businesses, because whether we liked it or not, everything moved online.
Yeah.
Being that as my background and a bit of my expertise, I thought, well, why don't I had this idea. I'm a very visual person, so I had this idea. What if I could be sitting in my office, and the door to my office would always be open, and if somebody has a question, they can literally just drop in and ask me a question.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that's the concept and the visualization. Sorry for that. The idea or the image that I had in my head, and that's how it became, right. And it has taken a path of its own. It's a very, very intimate group, but that has allowed us to bounce ideas off. And
Mm-hmm.
jumping on what you were saying, it's not only the knowledge that I may be giving or I may be helping somebody with, but it's also the energy that I get back from everybody that comes in, asks questions. We interact with ideas. We even share certain things that have happened that maybe I have never heard about. It actually happened yesterday, a particular case that I had never heard about. And I have my team doing some research on it because I've never even read about it, right? So as much as it's giving, again, going back to that idea of coming back, I also get energy from it. I usually energized from those
Yeah.
meetings.
Yeah, I agree. And that's every Thursday, 12:30.
That's correct. Yes.
Right. And if anyone's interested in that, they should connect with Identity.
There you
right?
go. Yeah.
Or email you.
Yeah, they can email me. Again, because the group is small, we send the link to everybody that wants to attend. So yeah, if you email me, we'll put you on the list, and we're able to send you that email with the link for that particular week. And you can email me at Efren, that's EFREN, at entity.ca.
Yeah, and I would recommend it to anybody who uses this platform, whether it is for a personal brand or big business or whatever it is, because like you said, it's an intimate group, and you can bring your ideas, suggestions, things that failed, whatever, and Efren can walk through that. So a segment like this, but for a full hour, it's fantastic. So let's just dive into some more of the meat and potatoes. So Efren, I know people are watching me, but I people tend to shy away, and I've done this in the past, and I've been more cognizant about it, and I've been liking people's posts more. It's not about why are people not liking and commenting when they see a post for business, for example, but I post my dog picture and I'll get, no word of a lie, 120 likes. So I know people are following me. Why not when it's time to support the business?
So I to be quite honest with you, I don't have the precise answer for that. I know it happens. I know it happens very often. I've had cases of customers of mine that tell me, you know what, somebody contacted me with regards to my service, and they said they saw the content on social media, but they never liked, they never shared, they never commented. I didn't even know who they were, but they said, you know, we liked what you did, and yeah, that was awesome. So let me engage with you in some business transactions, right? I honestly don't have the answer. There's a few clues that I have. One of them is, of course, that I think sometimes when we're interacting with certain social media channels, we become a passive it's almost like watching TV,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you're watching a video and you have your phone, and maybe you're literally just watching the video and you're scrolling down as if you were changing channels on a TV, which makes you more of a passive piece of that group, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the reasons. The second one, and funny enough, in my office hours, I think it was a month ago, a few of us sort of ran through this question as well. And I realized that sometimes the like and the comment and the share button are actually opposite of where my thumb is. So
Right.
as I'm scrolling, like my thumb is literally scrolling, I like it's not intuitive to go to the left-hand side to like, comment, or to even share,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But I think one of the other big points on this is maybe there is an inkling in a lot of us not to stir any controversy, if you will. So obviously the picture of Bello, of your dog, there's no controversy there, right? I'm going to like.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to even question anything about it. But maybe some of the content we don't want other people to see because we are in a public forum, right? But that does not necessarily mean that people are not actually watching. People are not being cognizant of the type of content that we put out there.
Right. I think as business owners, if someone's, this is my personal opinion now that I see this, because this does take a lot of energy to do. Um, Especially as I've said, I've had this tremendous fear of speaking and whatnot. And it's just, the like is like a little pat on the shoulder to say, hey, way to go, right? Literally a thumbs up. Like, way to
Absolutely.
go. It's not about, buying into my services and this, that, the other. It's really, hey, keep going. I'm watching. You're good. So I'm making a conscious effort now for anybody who does put stuff out there to view it, and to like it.
So
So
sorry for interrupting, and something that was in the back of my mind just popped up again. How many of us actually ask in our content, please like, comment, or share?
I
And I'm
don't.
not saying in every single post that you do,
Yeah.
please like, comment, share, please like, comment, share, please like, comment, share. But maybe if you're producing content 5 times a week, maybe one of them, all right, maybe one every 2
Good
weeks,
point.
whatever it is that you feel comfortable with,
Yeah.
please like, comment, or share.
That's a really, really good point. So we're putting the content out there, but we're not asking for whatever it is, whatever our ask is, right?
Yeah, we may not be directing the consumer of our content into those actions. And I get it. And again, right, I have to be very careful with this. I would not suggest for
Hmm.
anybody to do it on every single post,
Right.
because I think there's going to be a bit of a saturation there where people are going to get tired of, oh my God, I always
Yeah.
see this. But I think it is worth reminding people that, just like what you said right now, it is that little thumbs up. It is a little tap on the back saying, hey, you know what? Your content is great. That was funny. That
Right.
was informative. That was helpful.
Right. Because I do know for a fact that people are watching me, because a couple of times, it's happened more than a couple of times, but 2 times specifically. One, I was walking with Bello, and a neighbor stopped me. She follows me on Facebook, and she works at one of the banks, and she has not liked it for whatever reason, but she did ask for me if she could be a panelist. And then a couple weeks ago, same thing. One of our major lenders that we deal with, I bumped into like the communications director and guy who does webinars and whatnot, and he asked if he could be on it too. So I know people are watching, um, and so again, the reason why I do it is for me to give, for me to highlight a business here and there, but to practice myself, because I do believe in the end I'm to be speaking, and so this is a really nice forum to speak.
And if
Um,
I can just add to that, Angie,
yeah.
from a social media perspective, I always talk about how as consumers of social media, we see all these platforms as a place to connect,
Yeah.
right? But as business owners, we need to see these platforms as a data bank, as a database. Every
Right.
social media platform collects data on the back end, which means that if somebody's watching, and this I think was a few years back, where the CEO of Facebook came out and said something along the lines of, when you're looking at a content, especially a video on Facebook, for example, within the first, I think it's 5 seconds, they'll know what that video is about. Which means that
Mhm.
if you're scrolling down as a user, as a consumer, if you're scrolling down and suddenly you stop to watch a video,
Mhm.
Facebook will actually know that you stopped to watch that video and will start adding into your behaviors on Facebook and will start showing
I
you
love
more
that.
of that,
Yeah.
right? Which means that even though I didn't like it, didn't comment, I didn't share, they know that I stopped for a reason. They know how long I watched that video for,
Yes.
and that
That's cool.
allows them to set a profile for me to be able to show me content. Obviously, if I stopped, I like the content, which means that, maybe I want to see more of that.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's amazing. I know that for me, I on the back end, I can go take a look and see the viewership and the clicks, and I've been pretty impressed. There's like on average, I think we're about 60 clicks per video, which I think is fantastic. That's 60 people interested in what we're talking about. So, yeah, that's fantastic. Um, so, Efren, are there three things that we can go through right now that can help someone move forward with social media, use it as an area to help build their brand, help build their persona? What are three takeaways that you think we can walk away with today?
Of course, I think it's relative to where it is that you are in your social media journey.
Mm-hmm.
But just generally speaking, the three things that I think cater to maybe some of the fears that we have of being out there could be, the first one, it could be overwhelming, right? If you think of all the social media platforms and then you sit down, and I know because it's even happened, it's even happened to me, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to post on Instagram, and then I'm going to have conversations on Twitter, and then I'm going to go on LinkedIn, I'm going to actually write an article, and then on Facebook I'm going to do a video. Whew,
It's
it
true.
gets overwhelming very quick, because then you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have to do this 5 days a week. So the first thing I would do is minimize that. Start with, like, if you have 3 hours a week to do social media,
Mm-hmm.
then see where it is that those 3 hours could be better spent. Ideally speaking, I always say, for me, Facebook and Instagram are sort of the base of it when it comes to social media. So at the very least, do Facebook and or Instagram. And within that, I think we have to be cognizant of the amount of time it's going to take us to do that, right? To
Mm-hmm.
create content for those platforms. So my first tip would be, of course, make sure you set yourself up to succeed in terms of the amount of time that you have, and that
Mm-hmm.
requires just a tiny bit of planning. The second thing is, once you actually have the amount of time, you have your platforms. The second thing would be to think about posting and creating content on a regular basis. I'm pretty sure it's happened to all of us where we go on Thursday and we're like, oh my God, I have to create social media. And then we post, I don't know, 20 times the next week, and then we forget about it for another month. And then we're
Right.
like, oh my God, I have to post again. So instead of doing that, I would suggest, if you have time only for 3 types of content every week, then just do 3. And if you find that you find yourself with more time after that, then you can always increase it. But it's more
Mm-hmm.
important to be regular in terms of the production of content than it is to go on blitzes and then not do anything for a long period of time. So that would be my second one. And then the third one, I think there's a misconception sometimes as business owners with what social media can do. I think we don't necessarily see it as a function of creating brand, of being top of mind, and we more see it as almost a direct response ad, right? Where I'm going to put a content, suddenly the floodgates are going to open with customers.
Mm-hmm.
The reason most of us do social media organically, right, and we create content, is to build brand awareness, and that means to be top of mind. And if you've ever done it in any other channel, it takes time.
Yeah.
It's a constant effort that takes time, and it's a long-term plan. And I think we have to meet our expectations with what it is that we're doing, right? So creating content, how are we going to measure it? So let's measure it in terms of if you create a video, how many people are seeing it? How many minutes are being seen? You know, talking
Yeah.
about engagement, how many people are liking, are commenting, or sharing? And I think those, when we align what the expectation are, we align how we're going to measure, I think we'll be better able to have in our minds to keep doing these efforts to build our brand, which
Right.
eventually, of course, is going to help to build our business. But for that immediate future, that has to be the goal when we're doing organic content, that we're going to build our brand, we're going to be top of mind. It's a long-term game, and this is what I'm going to measure.
And Efren, you had mentioned, I think, at one of your open houses, open doors, that when you do something live, like that is the one that comes up as a over and over on someone's feed. Is that what you had said one time?
So there are certain platforms that benefit certain content above others.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Facebook. Video is very big on Facebook, right? And we have to see at what it is that they're trying to do with the platform. And
Mm-hmm.
statistically speaking, statistically speaking, what works best for that platform? Usually speaking, lives do very well because it's something that's current,
Mm-hmm.
which means that in theory, Facebook should be presenting it to more people as the live goes, right?
Right.
Now, having said that, I'm not sure that will be a starting point if you're completely starting from nothing, because it could be a little bit nerve-wracking to actually go live. So I think whatever
Yes,
our
it
point of
is.
there you go. So I think whatever our point of comfort is, I think that's where we have to start, and then we have to expand from there. Um, so yeah, in terms of content, yeah, I would definitely explore lives. I would explore videos, and something that we should be doing as business owners, and we should be doing not only with social media, I think, is we have to go back, evaluate the effort, see what works, see what doesn't work, sorry, and of course, do more of what works, do less of what doesn't work.
I agree. And like social media is not going away, and there's always new things coming every single day, and it's just I think it's really important that when we set out our business plan at the beginning of the year, I do mine in November. It's always important to have that strategy set in place so that we're not overwhelmed. So that, and I love that. I've also learned to have a calendar of activities and jump on to the open doors with Efren, and you'll have access to this type of information yourselves. But it's really helped keep us on track. So I really, really appreciate that. Efren, is there anything else? We're near the end of our chat. I can't believe it went so quickly today. Is there anything else
Um,
you'd like to add?
I think you touched on something that is very important, which is the planning. If you have 3 hours a week, allocate those 3 hours, say on a Sunday, to create your content for the rest of the week. And there are tools now that you can schedule it, right? So now you actually don't have to. For us, a little bit of the place where we find more opportunities and we have to be more focused is on the creation of the content, not necessarily on the interaction and the
Mm-hmm.
building of community. So if you only have 3 weeks, schedule that content within I don't know if it's a Sunday, a Wednesday, whatever day it works, and concentrate for a few weeks, create that content, post it, schedule it, and then you don't have to worry about it for another week,
Yeah.
right? And so yeah, that's the first thing. And the last thing that I wanna leave everybody with is, as daunting as it sounds, even planning sometimes sounds daunting. Just go for it. Like
Yeah.
it's literally a matter of grab a phone, do a video, and I think sometimes we're more critical with ourselves, and we have a different perspective of how it is that people outside are going to perceive our content. And I think getting through that barrier is a very important step, where it's like, you know what, today or this week, I'm going to do a video, I'm going to do a live, and I'm going to do it. And once we pass that, once we pass that threshold, I think you just get more used to it, right?
Yeah.
It's very important to go for it.
Yeah. I agree with all of that. It does get easier. I mean, I still have those heart palpitations just before starting, but it does get easier. And what I love about the lives is I can go back later and view them myself. Victoria says that of the 60 clicks, I'm probably 55 of them. But I've noticed that I'm not as bad as my mind thinks I am. You know, during the live, I'm being really critical of every single word that I've said, the the whatever it is, my hand gestures that I've had, and that sort of things. But it's all a learning experience, and it's been quite a journey for the Pettyjohn team to be doing this. And we're so absolutely blessed to have Efren Castillo and Identity on our side. Because I tell you 100%, we would not be doing this if it wasn't for the encouragement, support, and knowledge from you and your team. So thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you sharing with my audience here your knowledge as well. So thank you, Efren, very much.
Absolutely, Angie, and thank you so much for those words. You have been constantly, you bought into the idea of creating your brand through social media, and I do think that you're seeing the results now as a platform, as business comes in, and as you become famous.
Well, I wouldn't say that. People are calling this a show now. I don't know about that. It was a chat,
See?
now it's a show. Oh, I'm gonna watch your show. One last thing. Should I be TikToking? Dun, dun, dun. No?
You know what? I think you need to do, and each and every one of us needs to do what resonates the best with us. And you know what? If it's a TikTok song that's resonating with you, I say go for it. Absolutely. And I cannot. I think I'm gonna say this on behalf of probably everybody that's listening to this. Thank you for putting that song into our heads for the rest of the day.
For the rest of the day, right? I know. I don't even know the dance. I've seen like a million of them. Oh
God,
gosh.
I know.
Anyhow, thank you again, Efren. Appreciate everything. And I look forward to our next chat when we'll talk more about TikTok, and maybe I'll have a dance for you that time.
I think you have to see, now that you put it out there, you're gonna have to do that dance. That's it.
Yeah. I think next time what I'll do, I'll create the Angie Leafs fan TikTok page. Now that will be something to come out and watch.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much, Angie, and an amazing job that you and your team have been doing with these chats. So yeah, thank you. Thank you for delivering that amazing value you have.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Cheers. We'll see you next week at 11 a.m. again. Bye for now.